Unless you are involved with feeding the needy, you may not be aware of what's happening within the network of food banks, soup kitchens, and food distribution sites. They're doing land office business as a result of cutbacks in the USDA's SNAP program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pam Molitoris, Executive Director of the Central Illinois Food Bank at Springfield, just received a contribution of 10,000 pounds of milk from the Illinois Milk Producers Association, and it was quite welcome.
Since the SNAP benefits have been pulled back, we are beginning to see an increase in need. We don't have a big enough picture yet to know what that's going to look like. Anecdotally, what we're seeing is we're hearing that a lot of new people are coming to pantries. We know that between March and April, our numbers of people served went up by about 15%. And we have heard numbers from individual pantries that have gone up as much as 300%. So much of this really depends on the area that you're in, the number of pantries that are available to people. And so we're keeping a close eye on it. We have never been in the position that we can fully meet the need. You know, we are originally emergency food people. We become more daily people, but really and truly the safety net are the government programs, right? And people often ask me, what are you going to do in response to this? Well, first of all, we cannot fully meet that need. But what we're going to do is operate under our healthy eating research nutrition guidelines to make sure that food that we're bringing in has a high nutritional content so that we're feeding people healthy foods.
How many feeding locations do you provide food to out of this facility?
So right now we have about 140 partners that are food pantries, soup kitchens, residential programs, youth programs, and then we work with a host of others in more non-traditional ways where we might be dropping food off at a school or a health center, sometimes in the middle of a parking lot. So I would say total partners probably around 200.
Okay, and that stretches from where to where?
So we're 21 counties in central Illinois. Our northern county is Logan County. If you go down to the south, that is Jefferson County. To the west, Adams County. And to the east, Macon County. So 12,304 square miles.
All right, and that's a lot of people. We're not in that area. They're not going to be the most needy people as far as Illinois, but in some cases they could be some of the hungriest because there's a lot of hunger in a lot of cities and even small towns.
Well, here's what we know. There's a lot of factors that impact people's ability to put food on their table, right? Sometimes that's an event that happens in your life. Maybe you're doing fine and one day somebody gets sick in your house. Now you need food. Another thing that we know is people don't often talk about rural hunger. But rural hunger is a major issue because when you look at people that are working in communities or driving back and forth to a metropolitan area in order to get services, many times they're driving much farther than someone that's living in a city. So we are keenly aware of that and really trying to partner with communities that have lost grocery stores, who have a pantry that may only be open once a month. So as part of our new fiscal year, which started on June 1, we are developing a service plan where we really look at where are the pockets of need, the deepest need. And I look forward to having that data, and we're going to work throughout our whole area. Obviously, we've always done that, but who needs a little more help? I think that the most important thing for people to remember is there are all different kinds of ways to help feed our neighbors. One of those ways is really simple. You write a check, you make a donation to the food bank or your local pantry. Another way, you can donate food to your local pantry, you can donate food to the food bank. Thing that people don't often think about is, what about your neighbors? If you know one of your neighbors is having a hard time, invite them to dinner. Get to know your neighbors. And the last two ways I encourage people to really get involved is to volunteer and also to advocate. Share your knowledge with other folks and let's spread the word and really come together as a community to feed our neighbors.
I think the farm community, not only in raising corn and soybeans and hogs and cattle,
Mhm.
um, they're producing it, but they, as you have from the milk producers
Mhm.
here, somehow there's a way to provide commodities or
That's
the
right.
value of commodities to
That's
food
right.
banks.
That is absolutely correct. It really does take a village. It takes a community to meet the need. And, one of the things that I think often of is when you look at the ag community, there are so many different pieces that all lend itself to that final product that comes to food bank. And we appreciate everybody along the line.
I'm Stu Ellis.